Taylor Northcutt, and welcome to Bloom Sessions with Taylor. This podcast is all about helping beginners start their own small gardens by combining traditional gardening wisdom with modern technology. Thank you for joining us. Today's episode is all about a tool I found really useful lately, the PictureThis app, a plant identifier powered by artificial intelligence. We'll explore how apps like this support home gardeners and how they're a part of a bigger trend of technology transforming agriculture, even at the smallest scales. PictureThis is ranked number 4 in educational apps in the Apple App Store, with nearly 1 million ratings. It's simple. You snap a photo of a plant and the app identifies it for you, often with care instructions too.
So let me show you how I use this app. I'm trying to find it on my phone. Here it is. So it already knows what area I'm in, and I'm going into my backyard to show you how you can scan a plant and what the information that it will tell you. So I'm scanning my seemingly well tomato plant that I thought was doing great. However, it says this plant needs attention. Also, it gives us all of this other super helpful information. Hopefully, this will help you grow something successfully, whether that's vegetables, flowers, fruit, whatever. So this says, got yellow and white spots. It's transmittable, so I definitely need to take care of it as a pest problem. And here are some remedies that it's giving me that might help us ensure that plant makes it through. Let's find something else. Okay, so I know this is a Peggy Martin rose, and I'm scanning it here, and it tells me multiflora rose. I'm not 100% sure on that, so I'm going to rescan it. I'm going to try to get a flower in it. Maybe it will give me a better answer. So multiflora, I suppose that'll work, but same thing, needs attention. And I have a pathogen infection, and baking soda, okay, and remove the unhealthy parts. So I might be needing to trim back my Peggy Martin rose, which is quite alarming, honestly. So let's try to, okay, I know this one is better, a blue bonnet. Okay, I know these are ending kind of their season here, but this one looks healthy. So far, so good, and it'll give me all of that other useful information as well. Let me try to scan this volunteer zinnia I have, and let's see if it will identify it before it blooms, or if it'll tell me anything else. Okay. This one's healthy too. So far so good. I don't have to do anything. It looks like I need to go check in on my tomato plant and my Peggy Martin rose. But that's just an example of how you can use this app.
The app developer shared this video to help you get started.
How to identify plants. To identify a plant, simply take a picture of the plant or select a plant picture from your photos, and PictureThis will identify it instantly. A clear shot of plants with proper angle and distance will help PictureThis identify plants more accurately. How to diagnose sick plants. Just take a photo of the sick plant with the leaves or flowers inside the frame. PictureThis uses artificial intelligence to diagnose your sick plant. Uses the photos taken to better determine the symptoms and provide you with treatments and solutions. How to grow my plants. Find rich professional gardening guides on PictureThis app. Let the experts guide you through all gardening tasks, such as watering, fertilizing, trimming plant diseases. How to identify weeds. Which plants are regarded as weeds? How should I deal with them? Use PictureThis to scan and learn more about it. Join our in-app community along with 400 million users worldwide. Get quick advice for your ID questions and like, comment, and share people's discoveries.
Using this app is very simple. I mentioned that the first time I used this app, it was to help me identify what was wrong with one of my plants. It was wilting, I was getting some brown leaves, and I am not an expert in gardening, so I didn't know what was wrong. As simple as taking a picture on your phone and scanning the plant, it uses artificial intelligence to tell you, suggestions as to how to fix this problem and overall growing tips throughout the seasons and so many more helpful tips. For example, if I look at something here, let's look at a hydrangea. It'll show you all of the information about the plant. It'll show you some specific images. It tells you it's toxic when eaten by pets. That is always super helpful. How much sun it needs to get, temperature, how often to water it, where they naturally grow, and so much more. I quickly became obsessed with this app. I think it is so easy to use, and oftentimes gardening can get pretty tricky. This app has helped me multiple times now. I just used it to identify what was wrong with some miniature roses I had, and come to find out it has some kind of disease, and I didn't know. So the app told me that I needed to trim back my flowers completely, and as devastating as that is, it's what I did. Now, this spring, those roses are coming back, and they look better, and it's all thanks to this app. PictureThis is used by hobbyist gardeners, home growers, urban farmers, really anyone growing plants in smaller spaces. Speaking personally, when I first downloaded it, I didn't use it much. I used it for one identification, but I stopped. At that time, I was comfortable identifying plants on my own, or just Googling when I needed help, or even going and turning into a Facebook group. It wasn't until I ran into some tougher gardening challenges that I came back to the app, explored its features more, and realized how useful and how much information there is. That experience actually lines up well with something called the freeze model of change. First, I was frozen in my habits. I used it and I did love it. Then, when my needs changed, I unfroze and tried something new. Now, using apps like this is refrozen. It's just part of my regular gardening routine. I use it very often now, oftentimes to identify plants I don't know, or help me care for the plants that I do have. Artificial intelligence is changing farming at all scales, now even smaller ones. On large farms, artificial intelligence powers drones that can scan crops for pests and diseases. It drives automated tractors. It helps farmers optimize irrigation, reduce waste, and boost their crop yields. But what's exciting is that these powerful tools are now trickling down to small-scale gardeners like us. Apps like PictureThis put AI directly in the hands of beginners, making plant care more accessible, faster, and smarter. This shift connects with several ideas we've talked about in our Methods of Technological Change class. First, Rogers adopter categories. When PictureThis first launched, early adopters like tech-savvy gardeners, maybe plant enthusiasts, they were the first users. As the app proved its value, it moved into the early majority, the more cautious but willing crowd, which I think I consider myself to be in. Change agents, like gardening influencers, local extension offices, or even plant bloggers, help introduce these kinds of tools to broader audiences by offering guidance, training, and encouragement. We also see the theory of planned behavior at work. People's attitudes towards artificial intelligence come into play here. Additionally, what their peers think about using that technology. Is it useful? Is it not? And how easy they believe it is to use. For example, I find it very easy to use and it's very simple, whereas somebody might think the very opposite. All of these factors will influence whether these users are adopting this new technology. Similarly, under the technology acceptance model, two big factors drive success. Perceived ease of use. This app is super simple. You take a photo and you get answers. And perceived usefulness. It genuinely helps you care for your plants better. It has helped me solve quite a few problems in my personal garden. Of course, there are consequences to innovation too. Intended outcomes such as easier plant care, more knowledge, you're solving these problems. Unintended outcomes to using an app like this. We might be risking becoming a little too reliant on technology instead of developing our own plant identification skills naturally. There could even be concerns down the road about how garden data is used or stored, which are valid concerns. Looking ahead, I think we'll see even smarter garden technology very soon. Imagine apps that monitor your plant's health in real time, send you reminders for watering, fertilizing, or integrated with your home smart systems to automate care. Can you imagine saying, "Siri, water my plants"? It's not just about convenience. Making these tools available on a personal scale supports more sustainable, local food production, helping people grow their own food, flowers, even in small spaces. Apps like PictureThis may seem small, but they represent a big shift in our culture. They show how AI is making gardening more accessible, more efficient, and honestly more fun. I encourage you to experiment with a new gardening tool of some sort, whether it's PictureThis or something else, and see how it fits into your growing journey. I'd love to hear from you. If you've tried any gardening tech or AI tools, please share your experiences. I'm always open to learning about new things, especially in this realm of gardening, which you know I love. Don't forget to subscribe to Bloom Sessions for more insights into smart gardening and technological innovations.